Do you have any regrets from your life?
Yeah, not humongous, but little ones that sometimes I was sharp to some people that I should not. I regret it that I did, and maybe that I should have tried to go further in schooling, but that's some come see himself because the war was on, and then I met my husband, and he was the ballet and all that. It was almost impossible to go, to college later on. I thought I would have probably, but I don't know. That's there probably are small ones here and there. I sometimes are when I got mad at my kids and gave them a little, on the butt, So
Yeah.
then that I sometimes felt sorry afterwards. I'm not one that likes hurt physically or mentally somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know if there is anybody that doesn't have little
Yeah.
regrets.
I think that's normal.
And some things, you can change. I'm sometimes mad at myself. Why do I do that way? Why do I did this way? And I don't know. I've been lucky. I had good friends, though. I really had very good friends.
Mm.
This is the first time that, like, we worked together, Carol, and she had the surgery in her back, and she's hard of hearing now. She lives in Illinois, and she can't hardly talk, and she gets very upset about it when we talk. And she can't understand. She said that she can understand me better than lots of other people, but she is, and her daughter is very, very well-to-do because her husband owned business and they sold to some Germans, and they really not, hurting for money. They came and they put the elevator for her. She has a condominium. She's outside of Chicago. And she's a fun girl, though, because she got a sense of humor, and we had good times. She used to work with me in the store, for years. She had to go to her room. She drives the car in the garage, and then right next to it is stairway up, and they put the thing up that she sits down if she has bought bags with some groceries in her lap, and zoop goes up. So that her daughter did because they have lots of money, and Carol has too. Her husband died quite a long time ago. They had the cottage next to us, and her husband was one of the funniest men ever. Even the little grandson, he spoke, but the way he talked, you didn't offend you. He used to use all the dirty words, but for some reason you have to laugh. You couldn't be offended.
Yeah.
And the little guy once, I remember, he was talking something, and the little guy came, and he was interfering, and the grandpa, turned around and he says, "You don't talk like that when I'm talking because, you're just a little kid, and I'm first here and I talk to you." And the little guy was 3 years old, and he looked up and he said, real serious, "No shit, Grandpa." And we were hilarious. I mean, and probably the grandpa says a lot like that.
Yeah.
The kid didn't know that wasn't a very nice word. And he said, real serious, "No shit, Grandpa." And we were all hilarious, Dick died early too, and Dick was Carol's husband. We had, like I said, I worked several years with her next to me in selling cosmetics. I'll show you one day my diplomas. I have golden diplomas selling cosmetics, and then I went to school and learned how to do hair.
That's so cool. What are the most important lessons that you've learned in life?
What's the what?
What are the most important lessons, like life lessons?
The lesson that I did?
That you've learned in life? Do you understand the question? So, like, for instance, I learned that I should be nice to people, or like a life lesson.
Yeah.
what are the most important ones that you've learned or in your life? Or to like live with like.
I have to think. There were some that I admired people for it, and some people, when I was too fast of telling something off or so, and I later regretted. You know, because I have sometimes I get real, you know, worked up, and then I calm down, and I later on I regret that. I would say, but I can't think. I probably would when I think about. I would remember something that I did, but I can't, or said or something. But I can't. But I'm sure I did. I'm sure that there were things that I didn't. Why did I say that, or why did I do that? But I can't. What was the best lesson? There were a lot of good best lessons, not best, but very good lessons that older people sometimes said, and or you know, I learned through something that I thought, wow, that really is good or right or so, you know. Even now when I hear the political sometimes, although I don't like the political, I don't understand a lot of them, and I don't approve of a lot of them, and it's hard to, you know, get into it, but not so much this family-wise that I could think, well, I regret that I was nasty to that white dog that my mother loved, and I kicked him out of my room because he shed, and I hated that because I had to clean my room. I wanted my own room, and my mother wasn't going to give me because she says, you don't take care of it. I said, yes, I will. Well, we had no vacuum cleaner. So you're going to mop it, you're going to clean. We had the rugs, those rolly rugs, you know, the farms have it. So, and you go out, you have to out and beat. We had no vacuum cleaner. And you keep, because I was about 12 or 13, I wanted my own room. My brother, and then I said, my brother gets everything. My brother loses his watch that you paid the big money for. I don't know, a special watch. My brother lost his ski because there was from Karelian birch from one of the countries. I said, you anything that you can, you could give it to my brother. Well, who am I? I'm just coming out from the back of the wheels somewhere on the farm. And my mother says, why are you talking like that? I'm not. Yes, you are. And I remember I was yelling. I thought I should not. But that's when I grew up. I thought, why did I do that? But that's how I thought. I thought my brother was getting away with everything, and I was ignored. But no. But you see, the dog, you know, he was so overprotected and spoiled. It wasn't really right either. And he sneak in my room and go so quiet under my bed that I didn't know. And all of a sudden I see under my bed coming out white, you know, threads. I knew he's been there. And sometimes I used to get it like with a hand. I let him have it on his butt. Didn't do nothing. He went again. Because mine was a cool, nice room, and he liked to go there.
Yeah.
And he knew when I wasn't home, he was smart. Bobby, I hated Bobby. I like animals. I hated Bobby.
Yeah.
I didn't really hate him, but you know, I hated my brother too because what he did. He didn't let me take his skis, and he didn't let me use his car. I mean, not car. Bicycle. And you know, and he. But I really didn't. I mean, when we really grew up and all that, I thought he was. I didn't agree with him. We were very different, you know, very different. But you know, and then I liked very much my nanny. My first nanny, I had two nannies, I remember. The first was the daughter, and she was real cute, and she used to like dress me up, put a big bow in my hair. I was about, I don't know, 3, 4. And, you know, and then she took me to the park, you know, we went walking, you know. But my mother just wanted to take her out because she had to help Dad in the store. My store was busy. So, you know, and then she was getting married or something, and her mother came. No, it wasn't her mother. My mother did come as a but there was a maid. Oh, then my mother said, you are old enough, you don't need her nursemaid. You know, you can get dressed and undressed, and you could do yourself. I probably was like 6 or so, and I got really upset about it. And that woman came. She was just a, uh, just help. I mean, maid.
Yeah.
And I was nasty to her. I remember.
Huh.
She was doing something. I said, "You don't do anything right." I said, "Minna, the first one was that she used to do how to do this. I had a white little curtain on the top, on the bed, by the head, and also, something I don't know over. And she didn't do it fancy or whatever. I remember I yelled at her, and that wasn't nice. But I was a young kid. I really didn't know any better.
Right.
But you remember things like that. I look at some of those pictures and I thought, yeah.
So my last question
Okay.
is for your great-great-grandchildren listening to this years from now, is there any wisdom you'd want to pass on to them?
I have to think about it, but I'm sure there is. And there's some that are in the goes in the history. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want them to do to you. Things like that. There were some others that I thought, no, that's a good one. Was an oldie, when people, said, yeah, there were things that I thought I should have done it differently. I had told off some people that I later regretted.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes I hurt the people. I don't want to hurt people. To me, hurting mentally is worse even than hurting physically.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, like if the person is hurt, and then you make a fun about that, I wouldn't ever do. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And things like that, but especially with what I would like my great-great-grandchildren, like, don't do other people that you don't want them, wouldn't want you to do to you, or say to you. That means a lot of things. And you know what, the things too, we have in Latvian, that one who does gets back to them, given. It's in Latvian, sounds better. Dots devējam atdodas. It's just the saying, like those who will give, will get it back to them, without any kind of a big deal, things like that. They have hit me, yeah. But I have a hot temper. I wouldn't want my great-grandchildren have, not when they're little, the little kids throw their little tummy up and scream bloody murder, that's not what I mean. But I don't like people that they know they're hurting people on purpose. I'm sure I have, but I didn't mean it, But I don't like, some people are really, they I don't know, I think they are very little thinking about themselves, that they want to get somebody, so to feel better. I don't know.
That's good. That's
I mean, you think you're getting something now, but no, you're not really, but it sounds very good in Latvian. Dots devējam atdodas. That who gives is get back, more so, or more in the volume, or I don't know what would be the right word to explain that, So, and that's true, when you think some of those old people's, sayings, when you think about it, it's really, there's some truth to it. And I don't like to associate with nasty people. I mean, when some people are almost more nasty than they are nice, and I don't like nothing to do with it. I have had a couple of times that I worked, and so we went out, or we used to go out, girls, that worked, and we made Friday or so. I said, well, after we close, we'll go out and have a drink or have a lunch. And some are, real, real, don't have almost nothing good to say, just bad things, And I, I don't. I think there's so many nice, just like things around. You think, well, I mean, why she has that horrible waist? Well, in her eyes, it's not horrible, Or people that wear different types of clothes or so. You can gently maybe tell them that maybe, if you did a little bit different, it would be even more becoming to you or so, instead of saying, God, that looks awful.
Right.
Well, I only say to Irmgard because, that was part and fun. Because, she looked good in a lot of clothes I couldn't wear because she was tall and skinny. So she could get away with a lot of things I couldn't. And she used to say, ha, ha, ha. She knew already I didn't mean that I said, that looks terrible on you. It looks better. And then she turned around and said, ha, ha, ha. I said, just because you're 6 feet tall, you think you could wear anything, huh? Yeah. That's how we thought.
That's funny.
She was tall.
Yeah.
So now you know all my things.
Well, thanks, Grandma.
Didn't you get tired?
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Thank you.